And welcome to another edition of our Missouri Valley Conference Katz Chats. Pleased to be joined by Indiana State's Greg Lansing. And Greg, you guys have had an interesting season to this point. There's no question. Great run in the Diamond Head Classic to the final against TCU. A little bit of a dip at the beginning of the Valley, and then suddenly you just blow out Valpo. How do you explain what's transpired?
Coaching 18 to 22-year-olds is kind of the way I put it. But, yeah, we've had some really good wins in the non-conference and getting to the championship game in Honolulu. I don't really like giving guys excuses, but I think that travel takes a little something out of you. And we had a stomach virus go through about half the team. So we're getting healthier, and, you know, the league is really good and really balanced, and teams winning on the road almost as much as they are at home. So it's a crazy year, but I think we're getting better. Our practices have continued to improve. Everybody's healthy now. So I think and hope we're trending upward.
So if that's the case, unlike a year ago where Loyola was sort of clearly the best team, they certainly proved it in the NCAA tournament. It clearly just feels like this year is wide open. That the tournament in St. Louis, to pick one team would be very difficult. What does that do for you in terms of your optimism that this could be, who knows, an NCAA tournament season?
Yeah, I mean, that's what you want to do. You want to be playing your best basketball by the time the conference tournament rolls around, and we're continuing to get better. I told the guys, hey, let's not worry about the record. Let's not worry about the standings. Our job, because it's looking to be a one-bid league, our job is to continue to improve. So when we get to St. Louis, we're playing as well as we played all year. And if we're doing that, we're going to have a chance to win it. But long way to go, long way to go with the season. I still think, even though Missouri State just put it on Loyola, which probably shocked a little bit of everybody, but I still think Loyola is the favorite. We've seen them twice, and they've been very, very good against us. So we'll see. So see how the rest of the race goes.
What did that do last year for this league?
I just think that for maybe some people that aren't the casual Missouri Valley fan, got to see a really good basketball team, very well coached with what Porter does, and just what a good team can do. I think they showed us all the chemistry and the leadership, and if you have those types of things, you can accomplish some great things. So the league's always been good. I've been in the league a long time, Andy, as you know, and it's so well coached, good basketball players, and we like to say it's the best league in the country where seniors play.
Well, I'll tell you, speaking of upperclassmen, one of the best of all time, there's no question, came through their 40th anniversary of Indiana State, and I don't want to get ahead of myself, but it certainly would be pretty cool, for lack of a better term, if this was the year Indiana State got back into the NCAA tournament, 40-year anniversary from 1979 of Indiana State playing Michigan State. Have those thoughts run through your head in any kind of symmetry way?
They haven't, but I like how you think, Andy. I think that's a good selling point to the guys, and I think it'd be really cool. It was a heck of an event here. Our staff did an unbelievable job putting everything together. Every one of the 79 team was there, and they had a couple unbelievable days. And I don't know if you know, but several of them are local. So these guys are icons. I see them, and they come to practice, and I try to tell the guys, these guys are 33-0 going into the championship game. It'd be like us doing the same thing and playing Zion and Duke in the championship game. So these guys, you can't pat them on the back or celebrate them enough for what they did for this place.
So I just want to draw a quick parallel here, Greg. So that team obviously had one of the greatest of all time in Larry Bird on it, and had pros. And so then there was this thinking, okay, that's what you need from an Indiana State to get there. And yet we see Loyola get there, without, players who are of that stature. What does that tell you about what has changed in 40 years of what you may need in today's current college basketball to make a run like that? Maybe not 33-0, but to get to a Final Four.
Yeah, and Larry put it, he really talked a lot about his teammates, guys that wanted to get better, that wanted to work, accepted their role and excelled in their role. And if you get a guy like him, I mean, anytime you could get a Larry Bird, obviously, but they also had Carl Nicks, who was an NBA guy. I think, that those days it's going to be very rare that guys slip through the cracks in your recruiting, or you happen to get somebody that's one of the greatest of all time. But if you put something together like Loyola did last year, they were so locked in and so together, and their communication and how they work for each other. I know Porter really well, and that team, they weren't going to let each other down. They weren't going to let each other fail. They were as locked in as any team I've ever seen.
All right, so if there's one player that has really come along, really since Hawaii, that has helped this team get back on the right track to where you think, okay, we're going to be right there in the thick of this race over the last month, who is it?
Well, you know what? I think we're pretty balanced, so it's tough to single out one guy. I will say a couple. Amandre Rickman inside, if he plays well, we're pretty good at both ends of the floor, and he's been a little inconsistent, but so is our whole team. But when he's good, we're pretty good. And Tyreek Key is really kind of stepping up with watching film and seeing how teams are defending him. He had a really good game last game. With the newness of Cooper Neese and Christian Williams, those transfers, we're still getting comfortable playing together. But I like it. I like our team, and I like our unselfishness. We've got a lot of improving to do, and I think we can do it.
Greg Lansing, the head coach of Indiana State, on this 40th anniversary of Indiana State getting to the Final Four in the national championship game. Who knows? Could be a special season still to come for the Sycamores. Thanks, Greg.
Hey, great to be with you, Andy. Thanks.